Gemini, I hope you guys are doing well. This is a general reading for you. The messages may or may not resonate. This reading is done in June 2024, but I also want to consider it a timeless reading. So whenever you come across it and the messages resonate, then they're for you, okay? Yeah, feel free to like the video if you're so inclined. It does help my channel grow. And let's get into it. Show me energy for the sign of Gemini, please. This is a combination of oracle cards and tarot cards, just FYI. What's going on for Gemini? Community. It's a nice card. Balance. It's in reverse. Forgiveness. Action. I'm going to go ahead and get a card from the Denied Shadow Oracle. Show me for Gemini, please. Acceptance. Receive what comes without judgment. Okay. So, Gemini, I feel this situation may involve people within your community. This can be your family, your friends, the people that are in your immediate experience. This can be work community, however it is, but it's somebody external to you. And I feel here that there's a lot of consideration and thinking about a situation with a person here. I also feel that this is something where it's like you may be wanting to part ways with somebody. You don't want their negativity in your life at this time. Some of you, it's like you may want to salvage a connection, salvage a friendship, and by doing so, to do that, you need to forgive the situation and accept it for what it is, but also you need to take the action away from it, because that is what brings you security. That's what brings you a sense of safety and peace. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that, like, what's that word called? Like, betrayed you, broke your trust, spread lies about you, spread rumors about you, whatever it may be, Gemini. It feels here that there's somebody that you are really looking at through a different type of lens. And I feel it's important that you make your decision based upon facts. Can you show me community? Because generally with community, it also can talk about people coming into our lives from our community, being available to that. You know, it takes a village, you know, it's that kind of energy. But here it also may be dealing with somebody within our community, dealing with somebody that is external to us. This also may have a connection to money as well. This may be somebody that did something with money as well. What's on the floor? All right, so for this here, you have the High Priestess, Pisces energy, Cancerian energy a little bit, and then we have the Four of Swords with that. This card is called Truce. With this energy, I feel here, Gemini, that you may be dealing with somebody that kept some sort of like action of theirs as a secret, but it also caused something here in your life to become a little bit crazy, chaotic. It also affected you in certain ways. Even if it wasn't crazy or chaotic, it affected you in a way that wasn't shown to you immediately. And it feels like this person's actions were kind of irresponsible, but they affected you. Yeah, it feels like you're healing or you're in the process of healing from that. And that can just be through like looking at a situation being like, I can't believe that that happened with somebody. I can't believe that, like, my trust with them is kind of shaken right now because I just don't know how to believe them anymore. Like, I can't believe that they would allow that to happen. It's that kind of energy where it's like it shook the whole situation in a very, very strange way. And in a way, it also may have left you feeling very vulnerable in what they did. And it's like everything's out of balance now with this situation. You may have had like an inkling, but there's something that you didn't see, and it's like now you're kind of like in recovery from it, or you're like kind of getting your bearings again from this. You have the Empress here for balance. Some of you, this may have been a mother who did something. Bottom of the deck, the Seven of Swords. This may have been a mother who thought that they were working on your better behalf, or like your behalf, but it didn't go well. This is also somebody that like maybe people see them as like highly revered, but the way that it showed out within your experience was like you didn't take me into consideration before you made this action, or you didn't take me into consideration before you decided to like do this thing that affected my stability or my security or like some sort of like core value truth that is yours. It wasn't respected. It was just kind of acted upon out of haste or like within some sort of behind the scenes type of situation here, Gemini. And if you are a mother or a parent, it's affecting you. And it may affect how you experience like your stability within your family, or your stability for your family. This is asking for you to make a decision though in regard to how you forgive this, or what type of like action of judgment you put on this, because I feel here this is a situation where it's like your friendship is at stake here. The value of the connection or the health of the connection is at stake here, because somebody needs to either like forgive this situation, somebody needs to be accountable for the situation, and it's left you kind of like in this spot of like overthinking. It's like, well, what else was happening behind my back? That's what it feels like. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. You guys are famous for getting in your heads, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong to get into your head. You try to find a solution through thought and process of thought. The Magician. You know that moving forward in your life changes things. For some of you, you will forgive this situation, but it also gives you a very different perspective on somebody. And it gives you a way to look at them in the future and how you choose to act with them, or how you choose to incorporate them in your life. It feels here for some of you, you keep this as a friendship, but it's more of it becomes more of a distant friendship, or it becomes a very specific type of friendship where it's like, okay, well, I see you at family gatherings, or I'll see you here. I'll see you then. Okay, thank you, bye. It's that kind of energy, but you find freedom within it. You find freedom from it. And unfortunately, it feels like there's some sort of betrayal aspect that is the catalyst for you to move on, which I don't think you intended to even have to do in the beginning or in the first place. But it's almost as if like you still have a fair amount of love for this person, but it also doesn't mean that you're going to allow yourself to be put into situations like that where somebody would like do something like this. And I don't know what they're talking about with like doing something like this. Am I going to do that? Am I going to pull this? Okay. What energy was done, or like, can we get close to that? Can we get close to that? You have the Three of Wands here and Four of Swords in reverse. Here you have the Four of Swords upright. there's some sort of like situation that caused like your plans to either derail, or like there was some sort of connection with this person where things were on a certain path and then what they've done has caused it to derail. Yeah, it just feels like you're in the healing process of this. This may have been home related. This may be something in your home, or the stability of a relationship is at stake here. But it's asking for you to just be very real about like your boundaries now, and how to move forward from this rather than trying to, you know, internalize it and trying to hide from it. It's like asking for you to be very clear about how you choose to move from it and what you choose to give to it in the future. Show me action. You have the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands has been showing up in almost every single reading here. With it though, with action, it is like one of the most action-oriented cards, first of all. But the Knight of Wands is one of moving forward towards or from a situation at breakneck speed without really looking into the future of it. It's just kind of like going because you're driven, okay? And some of you, this connection here, it needs you to move from it. It needs you to remove your energy from it, so the experience and the outcome of consequence can take shape, because that's where healing happens. And I think when you do that, that's where you get like a difference in perspective, but through an emotional lens here, Gemini. I feel that that's where you can start to eventually do the healing, and the kindness aspect shows up here. But right now it's just like, no, I just need to distance myself from you because I don't trust you. For some of you, you may also need to like seek out therapy for whatever's gone on here. I don't know what we're talking about, but there's like this really, there's a big theme with this energy that's here. Acceptance. So you have the World and you have the King of Cups. Could have been dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person. The World here, though, in the King of Cups, and I know this in this deck it says Knight of Cups. The Knights are the kings, okay? Here in this deck, though, too, the name of this card is called the Seducer. I don't think you can see that, but it's called the Seducer. So I don't know if this is a situation where somebody went behind your back and like kind of like hooked up with a partner, or like somebody manipulated you, or whatever this is. There was some sort of like element of deceit that happened here, deceptive energy. And it feels here, Gemini, that you're accepting the situation and moving on from it because it's closing it out. Like there's a big closeout energy to this, Gemini, and it's asking for you to be available to accept that this situation is closing out. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of the human being forever, but it's like whatever this did, it's offering you a freedom from this, because whatever this is has been very... It's unraveled some things in your life, and I feel that this is something that you need to take action on. And it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction, or action, but it needs to happen. Can you give me advice here? I'm going to pull from a different deck. We're going to use this one because it's nicer. It's nicer messages, or at least the imagery is just nicer. Can you give me advice, Gemini, here? I've not given advice for it. I mean, I guess all the readings are advice, but I have not read for any sign this time with giving advice, or like anybody who's dealt with this kind of scenario. And I know not all Geminis are dealing with this, but this is like a very unique betrayal type of energy. You have the Ace of Swords coming out here, and the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Remember, Three of Wands in reverse. Situation, some sort of deception, some sort of thing that was done secretly here with this Ace of Swords in reverse, where honesty was not happening, where things were done without, like, not in view. It's caused a direction and a foundation, the beginnings of something, or like the direction and path that we've been on, to stop. It's the halt within this energy. Can you give me one more? Two of Cups. Yeah, I mean, whether this is a situation, whether this is a situation where it's like somebody in your life caused a breakup between you and a person, or some sort of behavior within you and a person caused you and them to break up, it's here. And it's very frustrating because it's like, I thought you were somebody that I could trust. It's a very betrayal energy that I'm picking up, Gemini, and I don't like giving readings like this, but this is what I have, and I'm going to stop it here because I don't want to beat it up anymore. But it's asking for you to find some freedom from this, because this is going to really eat you, and I feel like you've been in your head about this for a good chunk of time. Sorry that this energy is happening, but accept what is and move forward here. By giving yourself that freedom, you offer yourself new experiences. Yeah. So I gotta let it go here. I hope that everything is well for you. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.